when you're doing these exercises, are you like, are you doing like different levels to it? Like this time I'm just gonna do physicality, or this time I'm just gonna do subtext, or how do you approach that specific exercise?
A lot of times I'll say it a lot of different ways just to kind of see which way sounds the best or which way is the funniest. And I also got that from stand up as well because literally changing the delivery of a line slightly could impact the whole joke, you know. So it'll be a night where you do the same jokes, the same lineup, and you deliver it in a certain way, and everybody is dying laughing. Then you go to another comedy club and you may tweak one word or the inflection of your voice in one word, and then the joke falls flat because it just didn't have the that spunk that you needed, that was, you know, that really brought the humor out of it. So I say it a lot of different ways and just kind of see which one feels the best, which one kind of gives, you know, the most humor, and then I go with that.
Okay, so what if, because most actors, especially if they're not comedians, or they're not funny
Mhm,
naturally, they don't
mhm,
have like a live audience to kind of play with to see what works. What
mhm.
would you suggest to like the straight dramatic actor who's given a comedic role for some reason? How do they practice if they don't have, necessarily the people to kind of get a temperature check from?
Mhm. So one thing would definitely be like identifying the network, because that has a lot to do with the delivery of the line. You know, just kind of like I was saying, like if it's a Tyler Perry type situation, you know that your delivery is going to be a lot less natural. But if there's, a situation where it's definitely, a network where there's just kind of natural comedy, the comedy is just straight in the lines, you can deliver it a lot more natural and a lot more straightforward, and it'll still be, really funny. So and then also making sure you are identifying with your character. Like if your character is just like a really dry type of person and they say funny stuff, like not even knowing that it's funny to them, or them just being dead serious, but it's funny, that's also really funny. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm just being myself. I just said that as a matter of fact,
Hmm.
and
It's just too blunt.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The audience is gonna laugh at it, but I don't expect them to. You know what I mean? That type of vibe.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
really, it a lot of times has to do with like the character choices. So it really changes per character because some characters are just super bubbly or super goofy, and even with them, they're saying stuff that not necessarily they're trying to make you laugh, but it's just funny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I have a little, just a sidebar question as from actor to actor,
Mhm,
because you gave me a really good gem when you're like, you have to research the network in order to kind of figure out how you're going to approach it.
mhm,
Um, as like a trained serious actor,
mhm,
when you're auditioning for something for Tyler Perry, or
mhm,
some BT stuff,
mhm,
do you ever stick to your guns because you're thinking my way, my approach is better than the obvious stuff, or do you just tweak it and go in the direction that you feel like they want to see?
mhm,
Like how is that for you as an actor, when, because you're right, you should look at what the network is producing to
mhm,
figure out what direction you're going to go in. But
mhm.
what if it's like not strong, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So this is one thing that I learned from a class I did with Greg Allen Williams, and it's probably the best thing that I got from his class in general. You know what I mean? And it's really about giving them what they want because they have a brand, and their brand is their brand. You know what I mean? And their audience is their audience. So um yeah, like a lot of stuff for like BET are like Tyler Perry, like I give them BET or Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? Because I know that you know, if I do it the really natural way and the give, you know, just the choice that I would definitely give, they're probably gonna go with somebody that's giving them the, you know, that, you know what I mean? So um yeah, it's and then it's sometimes it's different. So when I did the Oval, that scene was more of a natural, like, you know, really just kind of acting type scene, where I was like in a jail and I was talking to Barry about like some of his people that had died. So I really did give that, just like you know, a straight up the decisions that I would make as an actor. And it felt good to do that for a Tyler Perry project because, again, a lot of auditions that I have for them, I know just by even like the writing, the tempo and the pace that they kind of wanted to be delivered, you know. But yeah, before really learning that in Greg Allen's, I would approach every audition the same with, you know what I mean, just kind of I'm looking at this character for who this character is and what I'm seeing in this character, I'm gonna give and I'm gonna be as natural as possible. Um, but yeah,
Do
it
you
just
ever think about, and this is just another sidebar question, do you
yeah,
ever think about your own brand and being pigeonholed, so to speak, into only getting certain roles if you commit to like the choices the network wants?
I
And you
yeah,
know,
I do think about that. Definitely when it comes to so even with like my comedy stuff, I think about that. And that's why I try to keep as much acting in it as possible because I never want to be just looked at as this just wild comedian who everybody just sees me as this person. You know what I mean? Like I want you to see, oh, this is funny, but he's really acting and he's, you know, he's really being supernatural. Um, so I do think about that. In some roles, I don't audition for. Just because it's like, even if I do book this role, I can't even say that I'd be super like proud of it or I feel like it would help my career in a way. You know what I mean? So it's certain roles that, you know, when I kind of read it and I read what the character is about and like what they want from the characters, like this isn't gonna do anything for my career. And if
mhm,
anything, I'll just it'll come out and I kind of feel like, why'd I do that? You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I definitely keep that in consideration, even with things like the show Wild 'N Out. Like a lot of people ask me, like, why haven't you auditioned for Wild 'N Out? You know, like
mhm,
man was on it, yada yada. And he's told me, you know, about like auditions and stuff like that too, which you know, and I think it's a cool show, but again, it's like I just want to be somebody who's taken like super seriously as an actor. You know what I mean? And I don't want it to be a situation where it's like, oh, okay, we got this role for this lawyer or something, and you know, we would have you audition for it, but I kind of really just see you as this wilding out guy.
yep,
You know what I mean? That
yep.
type of thing.
That is so real. I definitely
Mhm,
commend you for that because it's all about the long game.
mhm, for
Yeah,
sure. And,
I love.
and if they don't take if they feel like people won't take you seriously in a role, then you're not gonna get it. You know what I mean? If they feel like
Mhm,
your audience isn't gonna take like, oh yeah, all right, that's the dude from like nah, you know,
mhm.
they don't that's the last thing that they want, and that's the last thing
Yeah,
that I want. You know what I mean? So
exactly,
mhm,
exactly. I love that.
mhm.
At the gym.